Thank you very much for joining us. Today is our second installment of Entrepreneurship in Crisis. And the second installment, the whole series, in fact, really deals with bringing entrepreneurs together in community to problem solve what's happening during this time at COVID-19. This is a collaboration between the Center for Entrepreneurship, as well as St. Francis College Innovate, and is sponsored by St. Francis College. So thank you for joining us. Today we have four guests with us. We have Jenna. Let me go back to the first screen. We have Jenna. We have Clem. Hi, Clem. Thank you for coming. We also have Mai. And finally, we have Dominic. So thank you all for joining us. We will start with Jenna, and I will share my screen with you. One moment. So Jenna is the founder and CEO of a Japanese gospel music studio franchise with over 2,000 members and 28 locations throughout Japan. A franchise based on a monthly membership that gives its members a chance to produce professional vocal recordings, perform at concerts with Japanese pop artists, and TV appearances, and more. Under the slogan of Sing in Unity, Live in Peace, the group provides a sense of community where members can find community. So thank you very much, Jenna, for joining us. And if you can just share with us who you are, what you do, and how this pandemic has affected what you've done and the strategies you've used to pull through.
Okay. So, thank you for the kind introduction. And so firstly, I would like to start with introducing my business. My business is a gospel music school, and basically it is a membership business. We have several weekly classes, which is like a choir rehearsals, and then by different teachers. And members pay membership fee, then they can come to any of these classes. We perform at local events and sometimes on TV show, radio shows, and as a gospel choir. And actually, Shanita is one of our first singers and teachers we had when we started in 2008. And I started this business when I was 26. I used to work for an African-American church as a translator, and I was the member of the choir there. But I wanted to introduce gospel music to people outside churches. In Japan, as you may know, more than 99% of the population are not Christians. And one big social problem here is mental sickness, like specifically depression. We have about 20,000 suicide cases a year. So many people are feeling lonely and depressed and left out. So what we wanted to do through this business is to provide community where they can belong. So we're like one big family. We support each other and we sing gospel together. And how COVID-19 affected us, interrupted my business is basically, it took everything. We are strongly community-based, so we had to basically close our schools, and it's been around 2 months. And the first month, actually, we just kind of waited, but nothing seemed to change. So we had to make that shift. And what we decided to do is to create an online platform for our members for video and live stream subscription. And our idea is that to teach our members what we never taught in regular classes, give them something that they can only experience now and here. And we have a short video for that. Can you please play for me, Antonia? So basically, it's fun, and we want members to have fun while staying home. On the website, we have like Song of the Day, where I introduce and talk about different gospel artists and song every day, and those various videos are updated daily, including the kind of vocal exercises and some music composition classes, chorus arrangement classes, something that we never taught in choir rehearsals, but something that they can work on or enjoy watching while staying home. And we have live streaming, and then soon we are starting some project that our members can participate as well. And for this service, we charge about 40 to 50% of our normal membership fee, and roughly 90% of our members decided to stay. So it has given us enough income to at least survive, and that was our idea. So, and when we reached to this solution, we had two keywords in mind. One is be creative, and then the other is upgrade. In our first month, we struggled to find a way to keep our school open, and we even thought about like inventing a very comfortable mask so people can sing with it, but our members we don't want to come. We're scared of virus, so we don't want to come. We don't open our school. So that's when we had to really face the shift. Okay, so they'll be at home, not being able to meet anyone. So what can we do for them? That was the starting point. We can't do the same thing, so do something different. And just shifting classes from our studio to online was the easiest option, but I just didn't want to settle for it because that will be a downgrade. We know that online classes can never take the place of the actual classes. So we just kept asking this question of what do they want now in this situation? And we started this new site, and we are receiving feedbacks like, I'm doing this gospel exercise with my daughter and we laugh together and having a good time, or I'm always watching and singing along these videos during my break time of my work from home. And those feedbacks are making us happy. Everything we're doing now online is very new to us, but we just glad that we did it. And that's the quick explanation of what we're doing. And
thank you. Sorry, did I interrupt you, Jenna?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Did you want to ask some questions?
So much. No, thank you so much. Next up, we have Clement de Alcala. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Great. Let me show your video now.
Cool, thank you.
Clem is the co-founder and CEO of Clip, a clean mobility startup based in Brooklyn, designing a portable device that can easily be attached to any bicycle to instantly upgrade it into an electric bike. Clip will be launched in New York this summer.
Thank you so much, San Francisco College. Thank you so much, Center for Entrepreneurship. And of course, Antonella, Shanita, and Gami. This kind of events are essential to organize. So I'm Clem. I'm the COO of Clip. I'm also the co-founder. So we co-founded Clip with some array in June 2018. And you say it, we are finally getting ready to launch our first series of 100 products in New York in June 2020. So Clip is a clean mobility startup. We design a device, a portable device to upgrade any bike. It can be a shared bike or a personal bike to an electric bike instantly. The device can be easily attached to the front fork of a bike and detached, when the ride is done, to be slide in a backpack and then recharge from wall outlets at home. So I wanted to first answer your question, saying that compared to the situation of a lot of people in our community, Clip and our staff is in a good situation. But as a business, we do face challenges, exceptional challenges. And if I can go a bit chronologically here, I would say that the first big challenge we experienced was with supply chain. Back in February, it started to be clear that it was more and more difficult to source critical spare parts for us, e-motors and battery coming from Asia. The second challenge was here in the US about fundraising. So a pre-revenue startup like Clip is founded by investors, VCs, institutional funds, or grants. Since March, this conversation with investors have been more difficult. The third challenge for us, and I will end with this one, is social distancing, especially for our engineering team. The access to their workshop, to their hardware lab is now very restricted. And for example, even if our partners, 10x Beta, is doing a great job with this, they have to be just one in the workshop at the same time. Very difficult to build a complex device with mechanical engineer, electrical engineers being just working remotely. So to cope, to face these challenges, and I was yesterday on a phone call with other founder. The first challenge for the first change for us is to change our mindsets. So I do believe that entrepreneurs are characterized by this go spirit. Now is the moment to pause and to listen, to reach out to people and partners who may need it, and to work together. This is true for the team. Within the team, we have go we have gone from very good communication to over communication. We speak a lot to reach a higher level of empathy, I will say, to really take into account the specificity of the situation of each one. With our partners too. I have been working in a fragmented ecosystem, and I know the value of partnership. So we are spending a lot of time calling our partners and developing together a solution to work better. Extending also our network of partners has been a big focus for us this last week. And then our customers. So we use this time to reach out, to connect with our customer, to understand them a bit more. We have this pre-order list on our website, clip.bike, and we use this time to connect with our early adopters to understand them better, understand the situation they are in right now, understand if they ride, how they ride, and understand how we can make a better product for them. This is the way we have done it. Of course, I want to mention here that we are focusing a lot more on being extremely disciplined financially, and Eric, our CFO, is doing a great job making sure that we are not only sustainable but resilient as a structure. He will go through all the lines of our bank account and make sure that we need, urgently this $20 subscription, and if we don't need, this service, or making the call and the tough decision on this. And then I will say that in terms of decision, we go on tough conversation a bit faster as a team, just to make sure that we use our time the best way. For example, we had to change our go-to-market approach and decide very quickly to hit the markets earlier, and so to reduce our dependency on funds and investments. So doing and making this tough decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Clem. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so next we have Mai, and let me show. So Mai is a two-time entrepreneur with experience in both Southeast Asia and the US. She started Cocosin, the first fast fashion brand that quickly became the Zara of Vietnam with 11 stores. The company after that is an artisanal home goods brand that now sells to IKEA, Container Stores, and 25 plus countries. More recently, Mai launched a consulting company that focuses on growth, whether helping businesses expand to new geographic markets or new verticals. She also runs Cochin, an experiential food company that has been featured on Forbes as the most Instagrammable desserts of 2019.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, Mai.
Hi, very, very excited. It's Mai from AA Tamiling Consulting Service. Very excited to be here to share with you, since we have worked with restaurant for the last couple weeks during this pandemic, and have seen many folks and partner that we're working with has seen through many challenges. So I made a small slide to share with you today. Bear with me. Promise gonna be short. Let me share my screen. Do you guys see my screen? Okay, so let's start with the fact that 90% of the restaurant close within the first year, and the rest of 10% of restaurants just only have 5 years to survive. So that's a very tough industry already. Before we go into the impacts, and this is because we're looking at restaurant as a collective view. We have seen many client and partner, and here is an overall view of the impact. Because have you seen a restaurant on the supply chain is sitting toward the end of supply chain, it's dealing with customer, dealing with distributor. The overall impact we can see, obviously, firstly, sales. Our restaurant that we're talking to, they have sales down from anywhere, the best scenario, 75%, which is still a shocking number, to all the way to like 100% if they don't have the chance to do delivery or takeout. From inventory, when they shut down, restaurants sit on top of $1,000 and $1,000 of inventory they have to clear out. And I'm not even talking about cabbage or potato, which is on a higher, lower end of the value. Some high-end restaurant we're working with, they have white asparagus, they have black truffle. In some extremes case, you have seen a company called Regalis, they giving out ounces of caviar for free because it's sitting in a warehouse and it's go back on the next month. So that is a headache for the restaurant. On the supply side, restaurant, they still have to buy food to run the takeout and delivery service. But so far, none of the restaurant has reported any shortage of supply, except for some imported product like salmon from Norway, fish from Chile, or some European product like French cheese, you guys must love, or olive oil from Greece. So this is due to the border shutdown. For price for restaurant, we have seen many fluctuation in price, mostly due to overbuying, overstocking of the customer. Also, some small portion of it could be price gouging, but overall, it's still within manageable. On the future, on the short term, restaurant also anticipating a slightly increasing price because we already seeing on the farm level, there's worker and labor who falling ill or they refuse to work. And that will eventually create a markup that transfer to restaurant as a ripple effect. So all in all, for all that matter, the most and biggest pain for restaurant is cash flow. As unlike many small businesses, restaurant cash flow depend 100% on cash flow, on operations. So when they shut their door, they have checks to pay. 30 and 40% of it go to labor, as you already see. They mostly reduce all the labor in restaurant. 30% of it go to cost of goods, which is distributor. And we have seen interesting dynamic relationship between restaurant and distributor due to the fact that distributor operating on a net term of 30 days, meaning whatever restaurant had bought in February is paid by March revenue. And now March revenue is not here. Restaurant have no option but to sort of abusing the capital of distributor by either not paying it at all, or they could try to negotiate to extend the day to 60 days. A big part of it is also rent. So even restaurant don't open, rent don't take a day off, as you know. So we also see a variety of relationship between restaurant and landlord. They have a couple of options. However, it could ranging from, depend on the landlord as well, they could give a deferment to the payment, or they could deduct on the security deposit. In some extreme case, that's the huge news among restaurant is, if you guys heard Cheesecake Factory just go out publicly and say, we cannot pay rent for April. So that sets some kind of tone for the relationship. I wouldn't call this solutions, but this is a couple of actions that restaurant has been taking. It's never solved the root of the problem. And in fact, a lot of people say restaurant industry won't ever be the same in the next 1 or 2 years. So the first thing could obviously find some substitution for the sales that they lost. We saw a restaurant do delivery and takeout. We saw them doing gift card. There are some large campaigns like Raleigh for Restaurant, organized by Toast, which is a POS service. There are some smaller smaller campaigns like goodhang.co, where you can buy gift card and donate. We also seen a large number of restaurants turn very creative. They now want to get a portion of the retailer because the customer now turn to retailer and have to buy food anyway. So we're seeing a restaurant in Chinatown doing grocery delivery from WeChat group, or if you have more capacity, like founder of Taiyaki, they found a website called konbini.com delivering Japanese grocery. However, all the solutions is still what we call a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, meaning it won't take the restaurant anywhere near profitability. So restaurant need a longer term solution and more of a cash influx. Some of these, we working with restaurant on financing options. Obviously, everyone trying to get the PPP. However, most of the restaurant that we're working with had no luck with it. Those who had luck with this had also trying to figure out the restriction on our PPP. There are quite a lot of restrictions. Even with the things like Facebook program, if you scroll on Facebook, you have seen there are 100 million they're giving out, but it's not an easy option as well, if we dive into detail of it. Another channel that we advising restaurant is doing is crowdfunding. Crowdfunding could do from anywhere from GoFundMe, which is mostly for employee, but there's another route that we advising restaurant doing is equity based, where their customer can buy a piece of the future and really contributing capital with a return on investment on an equity base. So that is what we have been observing in restaurant industry. I'm very open to your suggestions, your observations, share with me more information about what's happening now.
Thank you so much, Mai. Thank you. And finally, we have Dominic Christopher. Dominic gained his knowledge in investment as an equity broker of a Wall Street securities and wealth management company that revolutionized the stagnant world of investments. Dominic went on to create Day Abroad Corp, a social platform that connects Caribbean businesses around the world, which also mentoring and internship opportunities to students in college. Since then, he has worked on a variety of industries and challenges and continued to create more platforms such as Bickle. Bickle offers food delivery service from Caribbean restaurants. Welcome, Dominic.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this great panel. I'm Dominic Christopher, founder of Day Abroad Corporation. Day Abroad is a technology platform created to offer wealth and cultural awareness for Caribbean community globally. Through our platform, users are able to receive exclusive discounts from selected restaurants and professional businesses when they book. Due to the detrimental impact of COVID-19 to our community in NYC, we would be remiss if we did not help during this difficult period. It is our responsibility to create a call to action to address the needs of our restaurant clients and their employees as a result of this health crisis. Doing so, we have formed Bickle Food Services, which gives these restaurant employees an opportunity to sustain themselves during this crisis by doing food delivery services similar to DoorDash and Uber Eats. So in terms of the food delivery, the restaurants will offer their employees first to do the delivery, and as the business grow, then they can expand to outside individuals from groups, for example, from DoorDash and Uber Eats. Our main goal is working with these restaurants to keep their doors open. In return, they are willing to offer free and discount dinner to essential workers and families who are affected. The reason why we focus on dinner is we are working with the Department of Education, and currently the City of New York is offering free breakfasts and lunches to New York City. We thought it was best to continue along that way to feed the community and also essential workers, where we focus more on dinner services. We will continue to reach out to the City of New York to assess whatever benefits are available to these restaurants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dominic. Thank you so much. And thank you all for really talking to us about what you do and really joining in the community of problem solving, different ways that we can help each other move through this crisis at this moment.
I have a question.
Yes.
So Dominic, Christopher, when I looked online just now to try to see about the two businesses you mentioned, I wasn't able to find it, and I was wondering if it was the way I was spelling it. So I don't know if you could send a link or something like that.
Hi, Larry. Thanks for the question. I will share both platforms in the chat in a moment, okay? So it's actually, the domain is, the first one for Day Abroad is dehabroad.com. And the second one is bickle.app. I will also share it in the chat so that the viewers can see it as well.
And I'll ask while Dominic is sharing that all our panelists actually do the same. So if you can share your information in the chat for those that are on right now. And we'll also, so for everyone that's with us today, especially if you signed up through Eventbrite, we will be sending a synopsis of everyone's IG, if they're on Facebook, so that you could connect with them after, as well as the resources that they have to offer. So all of that will be offered to you if you signed up through the Eventbrite platform.
Thank you all to the panelists for offering such a wealth of information. I work with Antonavia, and I'm the director of the Career Center at St. Francis. And Jenna, I just wanted to tell you, you know, your business, especially with the Olympics being postponed, will probably be in high demand as the year and the planning start up again. And I actually had tickets to go to the Olympics this July in Tokyo. And I'm also very involved with my church and have attended gospel music events and been involved with the Brooklyn Tabernacle here in New York. But I just wanted to give some hope and encouragement. I don't really have a question as much as, you know, keep plugging away, and we have to just have the faith and the hope that our businesses and your entrepreneur quest will continue to succeed despite the pandemic. And I wish you all the best. And I really thank you, Antonavia, for organizing this and bringing on such captivating speakers. I also like the bike. I bought a new bike. I don't know how to ride it very well. The motorized feature would really help. And I also like fashion and dining. So all of the panelists have really been connecting with my interests. So thank you so much.
So when you talk about the upgrade coming out this summer, do you have any like goals to like how much you want out in the world and how you want this message spread? Because I'm really a number one fan of this, and I want to reduce like the incidents with bikers, and I want to promote like a better passage for bikers to like navigate with this upgrade. And I'm really in depth of it, and I hope this goes well. Do you have like any other like plans like for the upgrade, or when will it come out?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the support. So we are going to launch 100 clip in spring 2020. So I think in June, July, of this year, we will launch the first batch.
Interesting. And when you say like when you're talking about like, so when you're like worried about some issues during Corona, since Corona kind of affects like with social distancing, any thoughts of what's going on with bikers now since we're social distancing?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. So bike, for the one who still have to commute, I'm thinking here about essential workers, is one of the safest way to get to work. Our goal now is to get closer, and I'm trying hard, to connect with health workers, hospitals, to see and to understand, better how their staff commutes, if they use bike, if we could support their efforts. So here is a call, This is something that we are trying hard to do. If you are in contact with essential workers, please do not hesitate to reach out. I just write down our Instagram, share it in the chat. Is Clip Bike, so you can follow us and connect with us through Instagram. Thank you.
Interesting.
Thank you so much. So we have, just before we take some other questions, we have a question that just came in. So this is for all of the panelists. What is your advice to current and aspiring entrepreneurs, for current entrepreneurs that are in the midst of this, going through this, and for aspiring ones as well? And what are you most looking forward to in the coming months?
Hi, so my advice to aspiring entrepreneurs is, I know we're facing a difficult time, but now is pretty much a time where everyone is home. You can utilize that time to create ideas, because even a Bickle platform, as an app developer, Bickle is the shortest time I've ever taken to create an app. And the app was created in a need for not just the Caribbean community, but as a whole diverse global platform. So my advice is that use this opportunity, maybe go on YouTube and see how can you code, or maybe go on a CMS platform such as, say, Squarespace or Shopify, and utilize that time to see what can you create as an online platform to create wealth in this time. So I've done it. I'm also actually working on another platform for Day Abroad, and I'm just using this time home to create more platforms that can create an opportunity once we're over past this pandemic.
Thank you, Dominic. Anyone else?
I think for, I don't think it's called advices, but I think this is an interesting time for everyone, especially an entrepreneur. If you current entrepreneur, I know it's a challenging time. I heard a lot of this story where a lot of owner and founder share with me, if you shift your focus out from yourself or your business to taking care of somebody, that will make it your journey easier, and guess it's more motivation for yourself. So most of the restaurants we're working with, their focus is to keep their employee and taking care of the employee, which is very beautiful. For those aspiring entrepreneur, I think whenever a chaos happens, it means that it tells us that the current way that we're working or operating might not be relevant anymore. And there must be a new way, right? So if we can use this time to learn, to see, it's an interesting time to see for all the student and aspiring entrepreneur out there, see what's people doing, what's happening, and how you can solve that problem and creating the new solutions. And I'm agreeing with Dominic about there's a lot of resources that are available now, and people are offering free resources. You can take classes, courses, just making your knowledge rich. And then when you're ready and you see that gap that you can bridge for everyone, that would be a great chance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have another question for our panelists. If you have changed your business models for COVID, if you've changed your models to adapt, will you be keeping any of those changes once this has moved on?
For me, yes.
Yes, Dominic. Can you give a little bit more info? So what have you changed and what are you going to keep?
So for Deborah, what we did was something similar to Yelp, where we will list businesses globally, but we went forward where we offer discounts and incentives. So because of COVID, we created Bickle, which is only a food delivery service. So we plan on keeping Bickle, but also optimize it where not only do food delivery, but after, as Maya mentioned, that within a year or two, everyone will be going back to dining. So we'll be keeping Bickle that you can do food delivery, but you can also reserve a dinner at the restaurant through the platform as well.
Thank you. Jenna, can I ask you that since with moving the gospel music education business online, are there any of those components that you're using now that you will retain once we're able to go back out into the world?
So we're thinking of keeping everything that we're doing right now because it was really an upgrade for us. We never thought about doing it, but everyone is enjoying it, and we could reach, like for example, when we did live streaming, which we never did before, we have many branches, but by doing live streaming online, when I teach, all the members from the branches could experience my teaching and vice versa. So,
okay.
And all the people, like we had like more than 200 members watching, and that wouldn't fit the studio. So it was really a good chance for us to explore new opportunities. So I think coronavirus in a way gave us to step onto something new.
Okay. Thank you. Clem, I know you mentioned that the supply chain sort of shifted for you from abroad to more locally based. Is that something that you're going to keep as a part of your model as a result of this, or do you feel like that's a temporary shift in terms of where you're heading?
No, it's definitely something we are evaluating a lot more seriously today, and what to continue doing in the future. It's the question, also allows me to stress this point of partnership, like building a strong relationship with our partner locally, starting here in New York State, is certainly what will help us to survive this health, economic, social crisis, and other tough situation in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me see if there are any more questions. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to ask now. I'm just looking at our chat.
I have one quick question for me, Trin. When I looked at your site, I see that it mostly speaks about Southeast Asia. I was wondering if that does come over here, or do you just help people over there, or businesses that choose to go over there?
Hi, Larry. Thanks for your questions. Yes, we do. So we help business grow and do business development. So as Antonio Villa has said, we help clients grow either to a new geographic market or to a new vertical, meaning that if you currently core business in a sector, we also help you grow out of that sector and develop a new channel for your product. for the information on the website, yes, that because we were on press for the Southeast Asia market, and that's why all this cover. But we do help business in the US.
Thank you.
Okay. And I know some people will want to reach out to both May and Dominic, especially concerning the restaurant aspect of it, because I know a lot of restaurants are in need of any sort of resources that they can obtain at the moment. And once again, we'll put that in the Eventbrite for everyone.
So I just want to say something. Hi, this is Ida Sanchez. I'm also a colleague of Antonivia's. I'm a faculty member as well as director for the Center of Entrepreneurship. And I just want to thank May and Clem, and I'm sorry for the other two speakers. I don't know you, but I want to thank May and Clem for participating in this webinar. They have committed a lot of their time to St. Francis and other activities and events, and I really want to appreciate that, and especially Clem, who has hired interns through St. Francis, and he's always eager, I don't know about now, but always eager for interns. I just wanted to comment on what that the question about does this crisis change your business model? And I owned a cafe during the financial crisis, and one of the tools that we used to survive, one of the opportunities that we used to survive, was to create an additional revenue stream for ourselves. Although we were doing deliveries, we had not been using third-party sites such as Seamless or Grubhub, and we added those, and I have to say that they really contributed to the survival of my cafe, and we continue to use them onward, and they eventually became a revenue stream that accounted for about, if I remember correctly, the last year, 20% of our total revenue.
Thank you. Thank you, Ida. We have another question. It's from Tara. She says, thank you for sharing your stories. What approach are each of you further disaster-proofing your business models, for want of a better word? How are you disaster-proofing your business models after this?
I will say that for an entrepreneur, disaster proofing is every minute of our life. It's what we do. Now, this is an exceptional situation, and we for the team, I would say that we are trying to be like very humble and really trying to learn as fast as we can, yeah, and survive.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I think a little birdie told me that Jenna has some amazing, inspiring advice that she can share. Would you like to do so now, Jenna, about? Totally put your
okay. I have some things written down, but well, I think it's I want to say that like 3 tips for our business owners, and I think it's kind of related to disaster proofing for me. And one thing is to be the best supporter for your customers, and that was really important for us. It was not like what we wanted to do, but what they want was the answer to our business. So just be flexible and be creative to their changing needs. Their needs are changing, but always, you know, try to communicate what's the key for us. And for us, especially for our business, it is very important to form kind of personal bonds with them. You know, everyone needs encouragement, so we want to make sure that they know that we are there for them. And so we use like Facebook, Zoom, emails, and phone calls. We do everything to keep our communication with our customers going. And once you have that connection to your customers, they won't leave easily. and they will be the greatest supporter for you too. So I think that's one of the most important things in business. Just keep that communication and see what their needs are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, can I ask each of you panelists to end on a final? So if you advice to one piece of advice in one word that you could give to entrepreneurs at this time, what would it be? What was the first word that comes to mind when you think of advice that you can give to entrepreneurs? One word.
Okay, so I will start. Keep learning and keep fighting.
Keep learning and keep fighting. Thank you, Jenna.
One word, innovate.
Innovate. Keep innovating. Thank you, Dominic.
I think for me it is, we probably have to get started used to crisis, because that will be a lot along the way, being an entrepreneur.
Good. So getting used to crises and planning for that. Thank you. And finally?
And I would say to still have a bit of fun, okay. Like a moment during the day really to just have fun, yeah, and enjoy.
So finding fun in the midst of a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you once again to our panelists. Thank you for the wealth of information. Yeah. And for our attendees, please look out for the information that's going to come to you through the Eventbrite. And if you haven't signed up through Eventbrite, then send us an email at innovate@sfc.edu if you would like the information from our panelists today. So I'd just like to end with a quote from a millennial, no less, but I thought it was really nice. And it says, quiet the voice, telling you to do more and be more, and trust that in this moment, who you are, where you are at, and what you are doing is enough. You will get to where you need to be in your own time. Until then, breathe. Breathe and be patient with yourself and your process. You are doing the best you can to cope and survive amid your struggles. And that's all you can ask of yourself. It's enough. You are enough. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.